Hello, welcome to Timesavers. Today I'd like to show you our new 2300 series pop-up cutter head and how to remove it for servicing and changing the blades. Here's the inside of the machine here. This machine is a 3-head cutter head drum with a combi. Today we're going to be working on the cutter head. I'm going to show you the steps here to go through to remove this. First, we have the yellow cover, the finger guard here. This is magnetic. There are no bolts to remove it. Simple to remove. Kind of give it a little tug. And this is the cover here. I'll set that off to the side. And also too, we can remove the belt loading panels off the machine. So we do have to get to the shoulder bolt here. The guide bolt for the cutter head itself is underneath. The big shoulder bolt here. There's one on this side and also on the motor side. And then up top we have some M12 socket head cap screws. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're on top of the assembly. We also have to remove those. We have the same bolt pattern on the motor side too, so we have a total of 6 bolts to remove. But before we do that, I want to go and show you, take you around to the back of the machine here and show you how to detension the V-belts. Alright, so here we are on the motor side of the machine. To detension the V-belts here, we actually have to lift the motor here with an air cylinder. So we do have an air fitting here with a pneumatic switch for tensioning and detensioning the motor. What you're going to have to do here is go ahead and remove the main air line from the machine and transfer it to the pop-up here. So with this hooked up, we can flip this toggle switch. The head pops up and the V-belts are now detensioned. Alright, I have the V-belts removed here with off the shiv here. This will allow us to move the cutter head out now with the V-belts off. Next, if we can walk around here. I already loosened these bolts here. I'm going to remove these 2 M12 bolts up top and then also the shoulder bolt down below. Alright, I went ahead and removed all the bolts from both sides of the cutter head here, and I just wanted to show you. So these 2 socket heads are up top on both sides. Then we also have the shoulder bolt here. This is the guide bolt for underneath the rail here for when the cutter head pops up and down. So this is the shoulder for it. All 6 of these bolts need to be removed, and then we are able to roll the cutter head out. Ease of servicing and also replacing blades. After you're done working on the cutter head, it's just to reverse the operation. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the cutter head here, but I did want to show you guys something on the back side. When we put the cutter head back in here, we do have a proximity switch for the cutter head sensing. We do have to go ahead and push this switch down here, the proxy switch, so it's not in the way here. So, and then you can pull on the pulley to put the cutter head back in place. I would reverse the operation. I would go ahead and put in the shoulder bolts in first. Those are the guide pins basically for the cutter head before installing the top bolts. So with the shoulder bolt here, you go underneath. Re-thread it in. Alright, I went ahead and installed the shoulder bolts here. I did it on both sides, so these shoulder bolts act as a guide for the cutter head to raise up and down. So I went ahead and put these in before I go ahead and put the V-belts on. Yeah, so we're already tensioned. The electric motor is still detensioned, I guess, so we can go ahead and put on the V-belts. Couple ways of doing this here. You're obviously going to have to walk for each groove here. So alright, I have the V-belts installed back onto the machine here. We still have the guide bolts in. I would say go ahead and leave this detention here, the V-belts loosened, and then go ahead and reinstall the socket head cap screws up top. I'm going to go ahead and do that now on both sides. Okay, so I went ahead and reinstalled the guide bolt down below and then also the socket head cap screws up top. Once all 6 bolts are reinstalled, V-belts are on. It's just a matter of disconnecting the air from the pop-up. Once you disconnect it here, the motor will drop down, tighten the V-belts automatically. Go ahead and reinstall your air line to the main regulator to the machine, and you are good to go.